Hey monkeys, how you doing? Damian Keyes here. Right, I'm in the office. I've got my Chasing Deer t-shirt on, which is a band from London. They sent me some merch. Goes to show I wear this shit, so you need to send me your merch so we can feature it on the show and I can wear it because I need more clothes. Anyway, today I want to talk about names, band names, business names, blog names, and the creativity behind them. Now, we're all aware that names nowadays are very important, not so much just because it recognizes the band, but also because of the digital footprint. And I hear quite a lot of bands that if they're called Pen or Desk, that it's very difficult, it becomes very difficult to find them because A, there might be millions of other bands called that, but also they just get lost in a sea of noise. So I want to talk a little bit about names and when I have this conversation about how important names are and how to find names, all of a sudden creativity tends to go out of people's head and they start thinking, how do I find a good band name? And they start going on these websites, which is findagoodbandname.com or whatever the hell it is. And I just think there's a better way. And this is how whenever I work with bands on finding new names, this is what I would do and this is what I would suggest. So the first thing I do is I have just a phone. So on my phone, I just bring up Spotify. That's all I do. Now, the last album I was listening to was Stereophonics' first album. And on there's just a bunch of songs. So I've just picked this album randomly. This is just the first one that's cropped up. Now, what I would do is I would look down it and I would write down any words at all in this album that I think are just good words, just words that are very good in describing. So the first thing I'm going to put is, I'm going to put 1,000, because 1,000 trees, I like that. I also like trees, I think that's a good word. Now I would do this, I wouldn't just have 10 words, I'd probably have 200 words, but for the sake of this video and this example, I'm just going to write down just enough from this album. I think that's good. Looks like. Tramp, I like that. Even though Tramp's Vest is very good, I'll write Vest as well. Photograph, I like that. Photograph. Now, obviously, when you put them all together, this is very Stereophonics album. But when we start to mix and match them in a minute, which you can obviously see what's coming, Traffic, I think is good. Eyelids, I think that is good. Now, each one of these isn't that exciting, but same size, that's a good two words together. Feet, I might write down. So I would do this, I'd probably do this for an hour. Drinkers, I think that's a good one. Goldfish, I think that's a really good word. Goldfish. Daughter. Okay, so at the moment, I have just written down, whilst I'm talking with my childlike writing, I've just written down 10, 15 words from one album. Now I would do this times by 150 to 300 words, and then what I would do is I'd start linking them together, because on their own they're okay, they don't really sound like a band, but when you start putting them together you can start coming up with band names which not only are a bit more descriptive and a bit more exciting, but then you can start going and looking for the digital footprint, and you're not, if you do a bunch of these, you can start deciding which ones you like and which ones you don't like. You can whittle it down, and then you can go onto Facebook or Google and start putting in searches and seeing what is out there and seeing if you can get the .co.uk, the .com, or the Facebook or the YouTube, etc. So what I would do is I'd look down them and I'd just look for words. So I really like the word chaplain. I think that's a really good word. So I'm gonna have chaplain. So I might have, how about, here's a couple for chaplain. So I might write photograph, excuse my writing, of chaplain, or I might have chaplain's daughter, maybe, or I might have, let's see, when you make this stuff up, I like 1,000. I think that's a really good word. So 1,000, it doesn't have to be 1,000, it could be just 1,000. So if I write 1,000, can work backwards from here. 1,000 goldfish, maybe. So you could have 1,000 goldfish, you could have 1,000 trees, you could have 1,000, that's obviously been done on their album. You could have 1,000 feet. What about 1,000 feet? Let's just try that, just for the sake of it. We'll put 1,000 feet, but let's have something which isn't 1,000 feet. Let's have 99,000 feet as one example. I really like the word goldfish. I want to fit goldfish in. What about drinking like goldfish? Maybe something like that. Drinking like Goldfish. Now, as you can see, all I'm doing is I'm just starting to put these things together from an album where it's just lots of descriptive words. I think traffic's good. Local traffic might be good. Vest, I think is good. Tramp, I think is good. What about the Tramp's Daughter? That's a good word. That's a good song name. Tramp's Daughter. Now, all I'm doing is I'm taking away the inspiration. I'm just saying I'm not going to sit there and just get inspired. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write a bunch of ideas and I'm going to see if this is going to trigger some inspiration, or if I see something that I like just from words that I'm putting together. And I'm doing this with 10 to 15. If you've got 300 words, I think some of the shit you're going to come up with is going to be great. I think Chaplin and Vest could be good. So Chaplin's Vest might be a thing. So as you can see, it's just a really good way. And then what I would do is I'd start crossing them out and say, look, I don't like 99,000 feet, that's silly. Or I might go and find one and say, the Tramp's Daughter, there's already a band called the Tramp's Daughter, so I can't have the Tramp's Daughter. And I'd start whittling it down to what I like, what's creative, what conjures up images. Some of them I could use as song titles, but on the whole, if you're looking for making something creative, this is effective, it's fast, and it's a really good way of coming up with a bunch of ideas that then you can go and check out that digital footprint online. And that's really simple. All you're going to do is you're going to go on Facebook and you're going to go and start searching for these things and see what pops up. Now, this is an example of something that I do regularly. Whenever we start a new band, we've got 30 bands here. Whenever I start a new band, that's what I do. I just literally go and write down 100 words, 200 words, and then I start putting them together. Now, for me, with the type of thing that we do, I'd actually start looking at words that might actually conjure up that band's image, as it were. So you'd want to do the same thing, and it would all depend. So if, for example, it's a metal band, you'd probably go and find a bunch of great albums from Meshuggah or Maiden or Megadeth or those sorts of bands, Pantera. If it is more of a kind of folk thing, you probably wouldn't do that because you don't want Blood in there or something like that. But if you are a folk band, if you're an R&B band, you just go to your genre, go and find out what people are singing about and start actually writing these ideas down. And I promise you, because when someone says come up with a good band name, instantly you just get this kind of thinker's block. And this is a great way of just getting past that and forcing through the process as opposed to waiting for the inspiration, which is what a lot of songwriters do. So that is my best tip for finding a band name. Hope that helps. Smash the like, smash the subscribe, hashtag 60-minute win and 60-min win. Send me some merch and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.